Hello everybody! Today, we're back with another video in Persona 3 beta. Stick around to the end for a small announcement, but for now, let's get down to brass tacks. As you've read, this is an attempt at beating Elizabeth at level 1. Now, the strat being used here is utterly simple, but brings a serious set of issues. The basic build only needs 4 things to work. Spellmaster, Invigorate 3, a counter skill, high counter is preferred here, and finally the fusion spell Infinity. So this build needs to be on Vishnu or Anata, preferably Anata, since it learns most of the skills needed. Now, technically since we're on the beta, we could build this on any persona, but going the classic because why not? Also, that's a necessary requirement is Lucifer and Sane, or Hello and Sane, for Armageddon. You'll see why shortly. Now, to kick off the flow of the fight, let's look at the end goal and how we need to get there. The biggest element that's holding us back is being level 1. So we have to lean on counter, deal the damage, because we just cannot survive any of Liz's attacks. Period. In order to get our win condition, we need to get her below 10,001 health. This is the threshold where Armageddon will one-shot her. Now, to reach this point is not as simple as waiting for her to pull out a particular persona. Liz rotates through a series of 8 personas, each targeting a different element. Now, with that information alone, this fight seems impossible since we can't counter magic. But every time Liz attacks with a non-almighty spell, she has a chance to use melee instead. The attacks we're hoping to get reflected are the strike or slash attack, since they deal higher damage more often than the pierce attack does. Now, she'll swap in this order of elements: fire, ice, lightning, wind, light, dark, element, then almighty. With only 2 personas we must keep note of is Mazzucato and Thor. While on Mazzucato, Liz will not perform melee attacks, so these are dead turns. And Thor is an issue because he blocks physical, which means if we counter while she's on Thor, it's just wasted damage. The last big problem with this strat is it's at the complete mercy of RNG, since Liz can just not use melee attacks. And we have to hope for good counter luck, otherwise we will run the 100 turn timer dry. Now, that's just with normal Liz. Her beta incarnation has a very fucking dirty trick up her sleeve. She forgoes light and replaces it with a second round of Megidolon. So in this fight, we effectively have fewer opportunities for her to use melee. So 2 out of 8 turns each rotation are just wasted, which is a massive fucking issue. The last important mention to make is that if you counter Liz and she falls below 10,001 and she has a second turn, she'll use Dirahan to heal back to full, which I think is a run-ender for very obvious reasons. So how about I stop sitting around and actually get to what happened? The footage you are seeing here is around the tail end of the attempt. And, through this attempt, Driving Crazy got mildly good and bad luck. He had a number of dry streaks, but those were followed by a number of win streaks with counter luck. So, now here we are, closing in on the final few attacks. In this attempt, Liz had gone for a lot more melee attacks. Often completely foregoing using Mabufu 9 from melee for just some reason. As well, she had been hit with a good number of high damage counters. So this was actually a really solid run, but we still needed a little more luck. Can this run be the one? So, to quickly explain what just happened, is that Drive Me Crazy had hit the threshold when Elizabeth had only used 1 attack. Thus, she healed with Pixie. The run was dead. Or was it? I'm not going to do the Vsauce gag, but Drive Me Crazy, even in this despair, said, fuck it, we ball, and continued the fight. Now, in theory, he could have won since we still had turns to use, but what ended up happening was a lot more interesting. I'll let you experience it. So, for those who don't know, this is the dialogue for when you beat Elizabeth, not when you lose to Elizabeth. So, what happened? Well, we don't know. The only guess we have is that this version of the beta, the devs decided to give Liz an alternative win condition to quickly test her text and lines. Or somehow the game errored and triggered the win flag for Liz, which would be even stranger, but not out of the realm of possibility. But honestly, at the end of the day, this was, a half win, half loss, so we'll call it a draw for this one. Sorry folks, we just weren't able to beat Beta Liz at level 1. But that's not the end of this video. Stick around for a short message from me, and, as well, one small little ending message. Thank you, Drive Me Crazy, for undertaking this challenge for us. It's not a simple feat to just do this. So, again, thank him. But for now, this has been Epic speaking. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Hello, this is Ant here to say thank you all for the kindness and support we received from all of you. We never expected such a growth, but we wouldn't have reached 100 subscribers without you guys. When we first started, me, Epic the Fool, and Drive Me Crazy, we had our ups and downs, but through thick and thin, we grew and wanted to thank all of you amazing people to have a good day, and we hope to see you at our next show. We are the theater creators, and we bid you all adieu.
I touched your heart, was the start. I play my role when I rip the mic apart. Do what I got to do, the place is rock. I'ma put it down, taking no crown anymore. From the moment I saw you, it's all gone hard to believe.